Morning traders, welcome to another session of Market Snapshot. I hope you're all geared up to the opportunities coming in. Now, we saw that the Senate passed a bill that the shutdown will be coming to an end, most probably tomorrow. So that means a lot of data has been out of the public, like this, the NFP didn't play out, inflation numbers didn't come out. So we really want to understand how the US economy has been performing. However, yesterday we got some sneak peek view. Unfortunately, Forex Factory didn't give us that. But then if you go to my FX book, uh, there was that data that was expected. So what was it? It was the ADP employment change. So basically, this is private data, right? And the expectation was that the numbers would be good. But unfortunately, it would seem like the US economy lost 11.25 thousand jobs in the private sector. Is that a good thing? No, right? Because that means there's some guys who lost their jobs. These are families that lost their jobs, that in overall it affects the flow of cash flow, right? Remember, you're also in a situation where government employees have not been paid. So there's a problem with cash flow. Could this have an impact on those private jobs? I don't know, probably. So uh, we would want to understand that the market moves based on the reactions, right? So yesterday we saw some bullish move because clearly after this data came out, the negative number, the dollar weakened big time, right? And it was a buy across most of these majors, especially the ones that have the dollar as the quote currency. So opportunities are coming in today, but then question is, how do we take advantage of these opportunities, right? So being on a Wednesday, we don't have some high impact news, we don't have a red folder news that we could leverage on. So that means the market is clear. More of technicals will be the ones moving the market. So with that simple understanding, without much fundamentals playing out, let's break it down slowly for someone who's coming in and they're like, okay, where do I look for these opportunities? First, we need to understand that the market is really there for us to take advantage of it. But then, do you really understand what's playing out? Do you have a strategy, right? What's your plan every day when you wake up, right? Because you must have a plan in everything and be disciplined enough to follow that plan, right? So make sure that if you don't have a plan, if you don't have the skills, please join our free classes, right? Just go to this video. At the bottom, you'll see learn how to trade, right? Just register for the 2 sessions. We have the beginner session, which is 8 to 9. Like today, 8 to 9 p.m., I'll be covering a strategy, a simple strategy. That's part of it. I'll be analyzing in a few, right? I'll be using that strategy to check out opportunities in the market. And actually, yesterday, some of the trades went in line with that strategy because it's based on the moving averages. Then we have the mentorship class from 11 a.m. to 12. It's ongoing as we speak. So here, it's more of the intermediate guys, advanced guys. You talk about trading psychology, you talk about journaling your trades. It's more engaging, right? Because you already know the simple stuff. What is a pip? What is a stop loss? What's a take profit? So make sure that you attend some of those sessions. Don't come in blindly, because there's a high chance if you do that, then losses will be your best friend, because you really don't know what you're doing, right? So uh, let's look at our MT5. Let's go to the technicals, because really we don't have much fundamentals playing out, and see what the market is giving out. So allow me to share my MT5. If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, so this is an analysis we had from Monday on GBP USD. We were looking for sell opportunities, but then we had a take profit area here. courtesy of this order block, right? So if you fail to understand some of the terms I'll be using, you might want to join our classes, right? So the reason why this was a possible take profit area was because of this left area. We can see a candle here. This is what you'll call a bullish order block, which is the last bearish candle before a move up that broke structure. So the structure that was broken here is what you call a higher high, right? So this market formed a higher high here, right? So the last bearish candle that led to this market move is what you call a bullish order block. So that is a take profit area, and we can see the market came to that area, and then there was that bullish move. And if you've attended our sessions, then you know that this area price came to something called the Asian high, right, which is the highest price during Asian session. And from there, there's that reaction, and there was a drop, right? So interesting times when you see your strategy play out. So let's analyze the market afresh and see where are the opportunities in this market. So we do something called the top-down analysis. So you go to higher time frames, you want to see where the market is going, right? So going to the weekly, I have identified a possible area with sellers. This is what you'll call resistance on the moving average, on the 50 EMA, right? This is part of the strategy we learned today. This is what I'll be training, right? And so let's look at the daily chart. On the daily chart, it's still screaming buy, right? We are seeing a possible bullish move. Going to the 4-hour chart, there's an area here, which is now maybe that 50 moving average. There's this candle over here. This candle right here is what you will call a bearish order block, which is the last bullish candle before a move down that broke structure. So this market formed a lower low, right? And then there was a drop, and eventually we could see price form a lower low here, right? So the last candle that led to that is this. So we have, it's a difference of 4 pips, 32.002 and 32.06 from that moving average on the weekly. So I will be looking for buy opportunities on GBP USD. There's another tool I would want to add, which is called the RSI. So on the weekly, let me map this again. On the weekly, we can see that moving average. So that would act as a take profit area. Yeah, so if we go to the daily, we don't have much coming in, but nothing stops this market from going to that moving average also. So if we go to H4, we are able to see this order block, right? So a buy opportunity is something that I would want to see on GBP USD. And these are the possible targets on this pair. So going down to lower time frames, what would I want to see? Before that bullish move plays out, I would really be wary when it comes to taking trades at levels that don't have buyers, right? So if I were to look for buy opportunities on GBP USD, I would probably want to see this area tested, this low, 31.27. That's almost like 30 pips, right? I would want GBP USD to come down and test this area, because this area has buyers, right? So I would want to see buyers come here, sellers get here, sorry. So this is the area where I would look for buy opportunities. So if price was to come down and test that area, then I'll be looking for that 79 pips move on GBP USD. Nothing stops that market from going all the way to that 260. Right, so if you're a swing trader, then probably you'll be looking at that 260 as your target. But the immediate one will be this one. Also, there's an area for those who are scalpers. Maybe you would want to consider yesterday's high as a possible take profit target. So 3183 would be a possible take profit area also on GBP USD. So we have take profit 1, take profit 2, and possible take profit 3. Once again, this is purely educational analysis. This is not investment advice. This is based on the strategies we train you, our clients, right? Then let's look at Euro USD. Now that we are done with GBP USD. So Euro USD, we were looking for a bullish move. And that trade, you see this buy, this candle move happened after that news, that ADP news we've just looked at, right? The one that came out negative, 11,250 people lost their jobs in the private sector. So what that led to was the weakening of the dollar, and that meant Euro USD buy, right? So I had done an analysis with the mentorship class, and I was looking at a possible test of this low before moving up. So unfortunately, price didn't test this area as anticipated. It was held on the moving averages. This is a strategy I'm saying that I'll be training those who attend our class today in the evening from 8 to 9, right? So we're able to see how it plays out. So let's look at Euro USD afresh. So a good trader is one who goes to higher time frames to have a clear understanding of where the market is. So clearly from the daily, we are still long. So that moving average will be a possible exit. 1620 will be a possible exit on Euro USD. Then there's also an order block here, 1643. That's what you'll call a bearish order block, which is the last bullish candle before a move down that block structure, right? So here is what you'll consider it to be a lower high. This is a lower low, right? So price broke this lower low to form another lower low. So this becomes a possible area of resistance, right? So that's the daily. Let's look at it from H4. On H4, we have that bullish move. Euro USD is still screaming buy. However, I would want to see it test maybe this moving average before continuing with that bullish move. Either that or yesterday's low. I really doubt price will come to yesterday's low. But then again, this is the market. Anything can happen, right? So I'll probably be looking at 1560 as a more high probability area where you have buyers. So a drop to this area will now give me a good entry because there's even an order block here, right? This is what you will consider to be a bullish order block, which is the last bearish candle before I move up that block structure. You can see this structure right here has been broken by this move. So a drop to that area, this moving average becomes a possible exit area or even yesterday's high. Let's look at it from yesterday's high. So a bullish move of 45 pips will be a possible move on Euro USD. Then another target will be 60 pips. And the third target for swing traders will probably be 85 pips. So those are the possible exit areas on Euro USD. Let's look at AUD USD. So yesterday we did the analysis on We did the analysis on AUD/USD. Once again, look at it. We wanted price to come to this area, and we had mapped it out as the buy area. Unfortunately, price was held on the moving averages. This is the strategy that I've said I'll be discussing, right? Why is it that price was held on the moving averages, right? So let's map out these trades afresh. Go to higher time frames. Its higher time frames will give you a better scope of where the market is headed to. So here on the monthly chart, we have a moving average that could act as a possible resistance. Look at it from 2023. AUD/USD, every time it comes to the 50 EMA, it encounters sellers. That was 2023. This was 2024. And this was 2025. I think this was which month? November, September. This was September, right? So that tells you the power of the moving averages when used in the right context. Okay. So let's go to the weekly. So from the weekly, we can see some bit of support. Once again, the moving averages, right? You can't really fight this because it's clear that price has been operating on this moving average from, this was what? July, this candle, August, this was October, once again, October. So you can see how this moving average, the 50 EMA, has held as support, right? Basically, what that means is that there are buyers on this moving average, right? So a possible exit could be now above. So let's go to the daily. We've now seen that we are looking at a possible bullish move, right? But then where do you enter the trade? Okay, so we have 6502 as a possible area of support. Exit, we have that moving average. The reason why I'm looking at the moving average is because, once again, look at October. Price was held on the 200, no, on the 800 DMA. This is the 800 DMA. Okay, so you can see how these acted as resistance. Every time buyers hit that moving average, sellers would come in, sellers. The last time was towards the end of October, and that led to how many pips drop? 160 pips drop, courtesy of that moving average. Yeah. So once again, when used in the right context, it's a very powerful tool. So we've seen that from the daily, from the weekly, we are looking for buy opportunities on AUD/USD, and this is the possible target. Okay, so let's look at it from H1. So from H1, maybe from H4, I can try and map out exit areas. So I can see a possible order block here. Has it been tested? Okay, so 6542 will encounter some possible sellers. Then there's also another order block here that has not been tested. This could act as a take profit when buying. Yeah. So let's now look at these. Yeah, so I'll probably be looking for a sell opportunity on AUD/USD. Maybe if price was to hit this low, 6502, that will present me with a possible buy trade. So let's see, support on the moving averages. Moving averages seem to be pulling a strong case. So maybe here, yesterday's low. That one. So those are two possible areas. So right now, I'll probably want to see price first hit these 6542 and then maybe a drop to either that area or that area. And then from there, we could see a possible bullish move. So those are the two possible areas of support, either here or here. The difference is how many pips? 12 pips, right? So this is where now you need to go look at those who've been attending our classes. We know the confirmations that will play out here, right? So you really need to look at price at the 30 region, right? You want to see the RSI is at the 30 region. So this downward move, if it gives us the 30 region on either M5 or M15, then that will give us a strong case to enter a buy, of course, with the confirmations of the candlestick patterns. Like, can you see a bullish engulfing? Can you see a morning star? Can you see hammer? Can you see bullish tweezers? If those play out at that price level, then that becomes a high probability buy trade. So it's clearly from what we are seeing is that it will seem that the dollar will be weak, right? Because you're looking at buy opportunities on GBP/USD, buy opportunities on the euro. Now we've seen possible buy opportunities on AUD/USD. What about NZD/USD? Once again, yesterday we had anticipated that we will see a bullish move, and the target was here. So we can see price hit our target, but unfortunately our price didn't get to where we would have wanted, because the analysis, when doing this analysis, price was around this area. So we had wanted it to come down before taking on that bullish move. Well, you miss out such trades, right? But look at how our exit area became our sell area, right? Exactly to the pip. Yeah. So let's do this again. Let's go to H4, sorry, higher time frames. You really want to have context to the market, like where is the market going to, right? So if you go to the monthly chart, NZD/USD is clearly bearish, right? So if you're looking at any buy move, that's a counter trend trade. It's a CTT, right? You're taking that knowing that overall we are looking at sells. So it's an opportunity to sell at a cheaper price. So that's the daily chart. I would want also to see this area acting as resistance. This is where you've had traders say support turns into resistance. CH4. So clearly you can see the moving average acting as the resistance yesterday. Price was rejected on that H4. Oh yeah, and you can see the moving average acting as take profit, right? The 800 DMA here. So if I were to look for opportunities on NZD/USD, probably a drop from 56.53 to 56.30. Why 56.30? This is what you call yesterday's low, the low of the previous day. So there are some possible buyers here. So if NZD/USD was to take on a bearish move, then this could act as a possible buy area. And the target will be 50 pips, right? Take profit one could also be yesterday's high or even on the moving average. That's around 36 pips, right? So these are possible areas where we could see the market go to. Let's look at USD CHF. USD CHF, we wanted it to buy and then sell, right? So the analysis was clearly long term, we were looking for sell opportunities, but we wanted USD CHF to test this high before dropping. Well, that didn't play out, but the sell panned out. So what are we looking at today? Go to higher time frames. So on the daily, this could act as a possible support area. This is an order block, a bullish order block, which is the last bearish candle before move up that broke this structure. So 69.49 is a possible exit. And then there's also October's low, last month's low. That one, that's a possible exit area on USD CHF. So looking at it from H4, so this one is an order block. Has it been tested? Yes, it was tested here before the bullish move. Interesting. So price could probably be coming to 79.74. There are some potential buyers here, and then we could see a pullback before continuation of the sell. So we could see USD CHF get here, and then potentially we could see a bullish move to, let's see, that movie now, yesterday's or even the Asian high, which is today's highest price during Asian session, that one. And then maybe from there we will see a drop. That one. So that's what I would want to see on USD CHF. USD card. Once again, we were looking at a bullish move before a bearish move. The bullish move didn't play out as expected, but the bearish play came in. It's yet to hit the target because the target is on the moving average, right? So let's get this analysis. Going back to higher time frames, what can we see? Support areas. That's a moving average. There are potential buyers there on the daily. On the weekly, we don't have much to work with. So on the daily, and then on H4, on H4 we have a moving average. 14 pips from the current market price. So we are looking for sell opportunities, right? So we could see price get to this low. Or continue dropping to that area. That's what I would want to see on USD card. USD JPY has been a wild card. I know so many traders who tried trading this gap, but USD JPY has been hitting higher highs. My goodness. Okay, so let's look at it from the daily. So we are looking for buy opportunities. It seems USD JPY is not done buying, right? So every downward move seems to be an opportunity to enter a sell. So this moving average could be acting as a possible support area. Yeah, so maybe a downward move before a continuation of the move to 155. That one. Let's look at gold. Yesterday we were looking for a sell move on gold and then a buy move, right? So gold took on that bearish move, and then there was a bullish move. Once again, look at the moving averages acting as support. So gold, we anticipate gold to come to this neckline, that one. So I'm still bullish on gold. That neckline, and if we breach that neckline, then this candle over here could act as possible take profit targets. So we are bullish. We are very bullish on gold. Has it tested yesterday's low? Let's see. This low right here, yeah, that is yet to be tested. So if gold was to come back and test this low from yesterday, to give me a good opportunity to enter buy. Remember, you don't just buy anywhere, right? You need to look at those high probability buy areas. So that's what I would want to see, 890 pips if gold comes here. And of course, you really need to look at the confirmations. If you don't know the confirmations, you clearly haven't attended our classes, because one of the confirmations is this dirty region here, right? Which is what happened on gold. There was a buy move, 476 pips. So if gold was to come down, that move on the other side, it will give us the 70. The 30 region. It will give us this 30 region. And looking at our past, and yeah, if you look at our past, let's see the last time gold hit the 30 region. You can see even this one. The last time gold came to the 30 region, what happened? Gold went up to the 70 region, which is 875 pips. So you can buy at the 30 region, exit at the 70 region. Yeah, so that's what I would want to see on gold. Let's finalize with UT100. Had anticipated UT100 to buy and then sell. So we didn't have that sell as anticipated, because there's a gap here on UT that needs to be filled. Yeah. So if UT was to give a bullish move, then once we get there, I would want to see a bearish push. I would want to see a bearish push, and this will be key. This gap needs to be closed before we see a rally on UT100. So maybe could this play out? Very much possible. That's it. On the major pairs, gold and Nasdaq. Let me have a look at your questions. Hey, morning. Good morning, traders. Morning. So there's no question. So with that, all the best. Let's see how the markets play out. Your work is to analyze, wait for the confirmations, and enter your trades. Bye bye.